The Iowa caucuses are finally here, and Republican candidates are making their final pushes ahead of the crucial first-in-the-nation contest. Bill Malugin is in Urbandale, Iowa, with more. Bill.
Emily, good afternoon to you. We just wrapped up an interview with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis a short time ago. We're trying to turn that sound around for you, but I asked him how he's feeling. He said he's feeling great, no nerves heading into the night. I asked him what his prediction is. He said, we're going to do well. I said, what does that mean? He says, we'll know it when we see it. He says he has put in the work, and he says only he and Donald Trump are the true conservatives in this race. He was talking about Nikki Haley as well. You take a look at this video of her campaigning here in the state of Iowa. The recent Des Moines Register poll shows that 43% of Nikki Haley's supporters say they would actually vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump in a general election. And DeSantis told me minutes ago that is proof that she is not conservative enough to be the GOP nominee. Nikki Haley, though, is saying you got to bring those people in under the tent. Take a listen.
We've actually heard from a lot of people, mostly Republicans and independents, a few Democrats. And look, I think that's exactly what the Republican Party needs to be doing. I have said to them a long time, we've got to grow the tent. We need everybody.
In the meantime, Donald Trump remains the front runner according to all of the polls out there, dominating the rest of the field. He says he's not worried about his competition because of that huge lead. He was even saying earlier this morning they have enough votes to win. We don't even have to campaign anymore, is what he said. He also says the swamp fears him the most out of all the candidates. Take a listen.
Ask yourselves, who does the radical left and the Washington swamp fear more? Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, or President Donald J. Trump? I can tell you right now. The corrupt establishment knows that if you put me back in the White House, their reign is over. It will be over, and America will be a free nation.
And yesterday, Donald Trump was essentially bashing Iowa's popular Republican governor, Kim Reynolds, saying that she wasn't loyal enough to him. Well, I asked Governor DeSantis about that moments ago. Is that strategy going to work with Iowa voters? He does not think so. He doesn't think you can get away with insulting their very popular governor. And the governor himself says, look, we have visited all 99 counties in Iowa. We have put in the groundwork, and we expect those results to deliver for us tonight. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Bill. And the polls show that Governor Ron DeSantis might have a lot of ground to make up, but a strong showing in Iowa could be his best bet for a shot at the Republican presidential nomination. Okay, Kayleigh, what do you make of all that we just heard?
So let me tell our viewers the positives for DeSantis, the negatives. Here's what's hurting DeSantis most. He has had more money spent against him than any candidate in the 2024 race. $48 million spent against DeSantis. That's more than what was spent against Trump, against Biden, against Nikki Haley. So that's a lot to overcome. But the thing I would say that is good for him, the expectations are very low for him right now because everyone's focusing on Nikki Haley taking and surging in that Des Moines Register poll, the surge she's had with money, the surge she's had with endorsements. So his expectations, if he comes in second, I don't see him getting out of the race. I don't see any valid pundits saying it's time for this guy to exit the race. He's in it, and he's in it for the long haul. And then finally, what I would just say is this. Weather, when you look at weather and what these temperatures could do, I understand they're Iowans. They know how to get out in cold temperatures. But in the poll, the people that were most likely to say, I will definitely be showing up for my candidate, were the DeSantis supporters, narrowly edging out Trump. So, look, I still think Trump has a lock on this. I think he has a historic win. But DeSantis, I wouldn't put him out for second place.
If I could do another pro-con here really quickly, I mean, I think it needs to be said, this man is inarguably the most effective Republican governor in the country. I think people look at his leadership and they see what he is, what he's been able to accomplish in Florida, and they think, I want that here too. The con for him is that he put everything on Iowa. The whole strategy was that he was going to win Iowa and therefore show that he could take on Donald Trump. So even though, you know, he could overperform because of his devoted followers and whatnot, he did want to win this to really make the case for perhaps getting the nomination, and that is not likely to happen.
Such a great point. There's almost like there's two DeSantises. It's the governor, which is inarguably just so effective, and then there's the candidate, which sort of raises questions. Harris, you had a great town hall last hour. What did you learn about how they feel about DeSantis?
Well, you know, they love the fact that he's done the grassroots work, and they think that's important. I think he's probably, in their eyes, the closest thing to Donald Trump, maybe besides Vivek Ramaswamy, but Ramaswamy just doesn't have that political gravitas and wanting the rest of the country to look like Florida. Look how many people have left California alone to go to Florida. So I think that's a point that you and Molly made excellently. I would say this. I caught him between Iowa trips last summer to sit down with Families in Focus. And one thing was for sure. He was spending time and money in Iowa, and he was putting all of his eggs in that one basket. And I would say now, and looking at that state, it wasn't that he was running against Trump. He was trying to replace him in Iowa. And I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you replace a guy, even if he only had 30 or 40% back then. But Trump has always been around 45 to 50 of the projected vote in Iowa's caucuses. So I'm not sure what his path was, but I find it interesting. He's reportedly skipping New Hampshire because Nikki Haley is running away with it there. And we'll see how she does against Donald Trump. He's going straight to South Carolina. So now his focus, I guess, is on bumping her out. I don't know if that's how you take on Donald Trump.
Jason, all your successful campaigns, what's your advice to DeSantis?
Pray.
Ooh.
I really like the guy. I think he'd be a great president. I think when the number sinks in and say, hey, 43% of Nikki Haley's support would vote for Joe Biden, that says a lot. And I don't know if he has time to get that message out, but I think it would be compelling to a lot of Iowans.
Well, as you always say, we'll be popping that popcorn watching tonight. Hey, everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.